Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. How's it going, everyone? Let's get started with our really cool, fun lesson. We're going to be learning about a lot of different ways to say and. And we're going to start, that is with the particle qua or wa. Now, the way this works, you take a noun. If that noun ends with a consonant, then you attach qua. So if you have 집, you have 집, qua. Or if that noun ends with a vowel, for example, 학교, then you attach wa. Pardon my horrible handwriting here. You get the idea. And what this means is it can mean and, or it can mean with. So you can kind of imagine this particle as like you're holding hands with a noun. And by holding hands, you're either connecting it like and, or you're holding hands, you're doing something with that noun. And this noun can be a person, a place, or a thing, just like a noun in English. So you can do something with a friend, or your friend and you went somewhere, or you bought cheese and bread. Pretty easy. This one feels polite. So it's most commonly used in polite speech as well as in formal speech. Now, it doesn't have a formal feel to it. It's not fancy, but it has a polite feel. So you'll see it most often in polite speech and in formal speech. 저는 I 한국어, Korean, 한국어와 일본어. So Korean and Japanese, 를 object marker 공부했어요. I studied not just 한국어, but 한국어와 일본어. So I studied Korean and Japanese. I said you could also use this particle to mean with. When you're using it to mean with, you could just use it as is. It's common though to also add the adverb 같이, meaning together. So you could make the sentence 친구와 갔어요. I went 갔어요 with my friend, 친구와. But you also could say, I went together with my friend, right? Not just with, but together with, in which case, 친구와 같이 갔어요. So I went together with my friend. Now, this is optional, but you can emphasize it by adding 같이, or you can also emphasize it by adding 함께. 함께 and 같이 have the same usage when you're trying to say together, but 함께 is more formal. 같이 is much more common. So let me give you an example sentence. 철수와, so in this case, with 철수, 같이, together with 철수. Again, this is optional. TV를 봤어요. So I watched TV together with 철수. 철수와 같이 TV를 봤어요. Everything we just learned about how it can mean and or with applies to the next particle we're going to do as well. This one works the exact same way. You take a noun and you attach 이랑 if that noun ends in a consonant, or you attach 랑 if the noun ends with a vowel. This one also can be used to mean both and with, just like wa and qua. The difference though is wa and qua, I said, are like polite. They have like kind of a polite feeling, so they're used in polite and formal speech. This one does not. This one has an informal feeling. That means it's not formal, informal. You're not going to use it with formal speech. You're also not going to use it with extra polite speech. But it doesn't mean though that this is slang. It's not only used with casual speech. Just know that it's okay to use in regular informal speech, in regular polite speech, but do not use it if you're trying to be extra polite. Don't use it if you're being formal. Don't use it if you're giving a speech. And you probably don't want to use it in your schoolwork. Okay, that is everything you need to know about this. So let me do a couple examples. 친구, my friend. 랑, with. 갔어요. I went with my friend. The end. 빵, bread, or any sort of baked goods. 빵이랑 치즈, cheese. 치즈를 먹었어요. So I ate bread and cheese, or you can think of it as like cheese with bread. Same thing. 빵이랑 치즈를 먹었어요. So I ate bread and cheese. Let's go on to the next one. This one has also the same meaning as 와, 과, 이랑, or 랑, and that is hago. This one also has an informal feeling to it, just like 이랑, but this one's a little bit more formal than 이랑. you're not going to use it with extra polite speech, and you're not going to use it with formal speech. Let me rank them for you and it'll help. So first we have 과 and 와. These are the most polite. Then we have hago, which are informal. And then we have 이랑 or 랑, which are more informal. This one is the most commonly used, but you'll hear all three of them. So let me give you a couple sentences and then we got to move on to our next form. 김치 하고. So kimchi and 같이, together with kimchi. So I ate it together with kimchi. 김치하고 같이 먹었어요. I ate it together with kimchi. 동생, my younger sibling, 하고. So together with my younger sibling, or it could be my younger sibling and someone. But in this case, there is no other person or someone doing it with them. So we can assume it just means with. So with my younger sibling, 영화, a movie, 보러 갔어요. So I went to see a movie with my younger sibling. And we could have also added 같이 here. 동생하고 같이 영화 보러 갔어요. So I went to see a movie with my younger sibling. Those were the most basic three. Next, let's talk about 그리고. Now, typically, 그리고 is used at the start of a sentence in order to give more information. And that will mean like, in addition to that, or and, or also, and then you can say something else. First, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. 저는 38살이고, so I am 38 years old and 미국 사람이에요. And I'm an American. 그리고, in addition, or and, or also, 미국에 살아요. I live in America. Or also, whatever you want to say. Using 그리고 has an emphasized feeling. So it's not just saying, and I live in America, but it kind of sounds like saying, in addition, or also, or and I live in America, like that. It has a lot of emphasis. That's not to say that you don't use it, but it's not used in every single sentence. So something something 그리고, something something 그리고, something something 그리고. It'll sound really repetitive and awkward. So only use 그리고 when you're fine, sounding like in addition or also, like that. And don't just use it for saying and. If you just want to say and, use the connector 고 or one of the other many connectors that can mean and. So I am 38 but using 그리고 has a stronger feeling. So in this case, it's okay, but you don't want to overuse it. This is how it's typically used. But there's another way you might see 그리고 get used. This does not mean with, but it can mean and. You can also use 그리고 to connect nouns together to mean and, just like you could use 하고 or the other ones together. This, though, is much less common. Why? Because it has that same emphasis. If you connect two nouns together with 그리고, the nuance that you get is A, and in addition to that, B. Most of the time, that's awkward. So I'll give you an example of that. 감자튀김 is French fries. So 감자튀김 하나. So one French fries, one order of French fries, 그리고. And in addition to that, in addition to one order of French fries, 딸기, strawberry, shake is shake, so strawberry shake, 하나 주세요. So what we get is, please give me one order of French fries and in addition, one shake. So you see how it has that extra emphasis. It's not just saying, please give me one order of fries and a strawberry shake, but it's saying French fries and also a strawberry shake. This is going to be very unnatural in regular sentences. Normally, when you're ordering, you know what you want. You don't need to add that emphasis like, oh, and also, you can just say, 감자튀김 하나랑 딸기 쉐이크 하나 주세요. Okay, so far, everything we've done has been beginner level. That changes now. You can also connect things to say and using the particle mit. This is an official particle that has a formal feel. It's only seen in writing. This particle is like seeing a written ampersand. So A meet B looks like A ampersand B. So it's much less common than the other ways. 요즘은, so nowadays, lately, AI, which is just AI, AI로, so using AI, 검색 is searching, 및 and 요약 is summarizing. 이 가능해요 is possible. 가능하다, to be possible. So lately, using AI is possible to do searching and summarizing. That's it. It's just connecting them together, like a plus sign or an ampersand. Melatonin, which is melatonin. Melatonin-의, so melatonin's 효능 is the effectiveness. 및 and 부작용 is a side effect. So the effectiveness and side effects of melatonin. This would be like the name of a paper. 멜라토닌의 효능 및 부작용. Again, it's just a really short, official sounding way of saying and when you're connecting nouns. There are still 3 more that I need to cover. The first one is 또. Now, 또 means and or in addition. And the way it works is just like 그리고. 또 can be used in that same way, but 또 is more formal sounding, a little bit more fancy sounding than 그리고. And as a result, 또 is less commonly used. 친구와 점심을 먹었어요. So I ate lunch, 점심, with my 친구. 또, 그리고, 공원에 갔어요. And, in addition, we went to the park. So I ate lunch with my friend, in addition, and also, we went to the park. Now we have 또한. Now, at first, it looks just like 또, and the definition looks just like 또, and it's also just like 그리고, but the way it works is very different. Typically, it is used like a particle. Let me show you. This one is used like the particle 또, meaning also, or even, or and, but with more emphasis. It's less common too. By saying something is also, with this, it's kind of like saying something's just like something, or this is similar also in that it does this, or on top of that, this. So it's when you're saying that something is like something or similar to something, just like when you use 또. So let me give you an example sentence. 여기는, so here, 디저트, desserts, 예뻐요. So the desserts here are pretty. 또한, 그리고, more emphasis, and in addition, 가격, the price, 합리적이에요, is reasonable. So on top of that, the prices are reasonable. So it's not just like saying in addition or and, but it's kind of like on top of that, it has more of an emphasized feeling. You can also use it like the particle 도 to say and. So this also. So in this case, 청소도, also cleaning, 청소 또한. So also cleaning, in addition, cleaning is what you're saying. 제가 할 일. So a work, a task, a job, a thing that I will do. 제가 할 일이에요. So cleaning is something also that I'm going to be doing. So I'm also going to be doing cleaning. But it has more emphasis than just saying 청소도. And the last one for today, the particle 에, you mean like to or in? Yes, but it's also used to mean and. This one is used to mean and when the 2 nouns that you're connecting are similar or related. And this particle being used to mean and is much less common. They have to be similar or related to each other. So let me give you an example. T-shirt, a t-shirt, t-shirt에 청바지. 청바지 means jeans. 청바지를 입었어요. So I wore t-shirts and jeans. You're not just saying 티셔츠와 청바지를 입었어요. You're not just saying I wore jeans and I wore a t-shirt. You're saying this is a pair. These things go together. That's the only case you're going to be using this to mean and, but most of the time you do not need it. Like if you want to say, I watched Harry Potter and Star Wars, you would never say 해리 포터의 스타워즈를 봤어요, because they're not at all the same. Young kid who thinks he's a nobody ends up getting trained by some wizard, learns how to use his powers and defeats these evil forces. Nothing alike. And that is our lesson. Thank you all, and I will see you again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.